Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a short-lived variant launched in 2024 and discontinued in 2026. You're looking at the Patek Philippe 5520RG-001. It is a rose gold and very slightly white gold infused take on the 2019 Platinum model, which had a black dial. Both of them are discontinued for 2026 because this watch variant in rose and white gold only ran for parts of 3 model years and cost about $300,000. It is destined to be a very rare modern Patek Philippe. It's one of the most misunderstood, to be sure, and I think it's also one of the most underrated. So we'll get to all that. Let's talk about size. In rose gold, 42.2 millimeters in diameter, 11.7 millimeters thick. I measured 51 millimeters lug-to-lug with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and it fits. I don't think you could wear it on a smaller wrist than mine, but if your wrist is my size or larger, this is going to be a good match. You can see from the top, it has taken up all the real estate, but it's not hanging out over the edge of my wrist. And in profile, it's actually pretty thin, so it should slip easily underneath a dress cuff. Although this steel sunburst dial and the steel gray combination with the almost key lime lume, the rose gold case and pushers, this seems like a more casual, maybe even a little bit sportier version of the black dial platinum watch. I would also mention that this watch was initially launched as part of the Calatrava Pilot line. The problem is that Calatrava and Grand Complication are parts of mutually exclusive model lines with greatly disparate price points and billing. And so because of the complexity and the price of this watch, Patek stopped calling it a Pilot fairly soon after the original Platinum model launched in 2019, and yet the family resemblance to something like a 5524, 5525, or 7234 is unmistakable. And that continues on the strap, which is an aviator-style calfskin, semi-gloss, medium brown with a contrasting stitch and the Calatrava Pilot crosshatch. We even have the Clevis style Calatrava Pilot pin buckle, so you can easily see what they were thinking. For positioning purposes and pricing purposes, it was necessary to bump this up to Grand Complications and stop talking about the Pilot Watch associations, because all the Pilot watches at Patek are a lot cheaper than this, but it's worth the price. Rose gold case, simple blended lugs, crowns that do a lot of different things. This is the master crown. It winds the watch, winds the alarm, sets the alarm, and sets the time. It also operates the hacking seconds function. This crown turns the alarm on and off. It arms and disarms it. Now, you could see when you turn it in a clockwise direction, you lock this crown. This crown, this crown, and this crown are all lockable. Turn counterclockwise, now you can unlock it. And this crown here operates the alarm arming device. And so you can see when that little bell-shaped aperture is light, the alarm is armed. When it's dark, the alarm is not armed. A funny thing about this watch, if you want to wind the alarm, if the alarm is disarmed, you will eventually reach the end of the winding. The barrel, the strike barrel, is fully wound. Now, if you accidentally turn past that resistance, you won't damage it because it's dynamometric, a little bit like the crown on the 5207, but you will feel it start to cog or almost ratchet a little bit. That detent action and the resistance is your sign that you're done winding. But if the alarm is armed, and this is one of the quirks, you can turn it freely forever and you will never reach the end. So if you ever wonder why it seems to be winding forever, take a look to see if it's armed. It can only be armed when the strike barrel is fully wound. So if this thing is white and this thing is turning endlessly, that means the barrel's already wound and the alarm is armed. As soon as I disarm it, now I can't easily turn this crown, so just keep that in mind. Like a minute repeater, which requires you to fully charge the strike barrel, this requires you to fully wind the strike barrel before it can be armed. Now here we have travel time pushers that move the local hour hand forward and backwards. They too can be locked by turning them clockwise. Now I cannot accidentally change my local hour hand. So I can lock my local hour hand and I can lock my alarm arm and disarm. You can see that we have two 12-hour hands, and since they move at the same speed, if you want to clean up the dial, if you don't need that second time zone, you can make it disappear. And because they are both in a 12-hour format, and because the local time drives the date and is the time described by the setting of the alarm, you really need to know whether the local time is set to AM or PM. So we have day-night indicators for both local and reference time. Home time, reference time, on almost every dual-time watch will give you some AM-PM indication, but it's not always the case that you need an AM-PM for your local time zone. Because of the date and the alarm, you do need that here. Taking a close look, you can see both these apertures are light. I don't know how well you can see it under the camera, but because they are both light as opposed to dark, that means these 2 hours, which I've superimposed, are both indicating 10 a.m. So that is 10 in the morning when it is light. So you'll notice as I roll, stop seconds, as I roll through 12 o'clock, the date doesn't jump forward or backwards because my local time is set to now 3 p.m. Now, if I were to jump my local time through the date change, you can see how it'll jump in either direction as you cross the international date line. And as you make those changes, the seconds hand does not stop. Let's do a quick loom shot. This watch has a lot of luminescence, one of the reasons why I think it's one of the best Pateks of the modern era, just like the Calatrava Pilot. Also worth mentioning is there's a little bit of a tonal contrast. This dial is black, white has this metallic steel gray sunburst dial center, and then the numerals, which like the hands are actually black and gold. The numerals feature sort of a key lime coloration of luminova, and that subtle green is definitely a punchy portion of this watch's styling, and one of the reasons it's a bit more casual than the Platinum model. So let's talk about setting the alarm. Again, the alarm is set for local time. That is the uppermost luminescent solid hour hand. Well, what I can do here is I can set this alarm in 15-minute increments. So let's say it were 8:20 in the morning. So the next alarm increment that I could set would be 8:30. And you can see that there is a little aperture below the digitally set alarm time, because this is a 24-hour alarm, but the digits are in 12-hour format. So this will allow me to set the time. If I pull the crown out all the way, the intermediate position allows me to set the alarm. Now you can see as I set the alarm, let the second hand get out of the way. As I set the alarm, it turns light. Now, if I were to set it back, you could see now we're moving back to the early morning in the dark. Now it's 5 a.m. because this little circle is black. That means I'm looking at 5 a.m., not 5 p.m. Now, as I advance forward, I'll demonstrate how this works. We're rolling through noon right there. The little aperture is still light in color. We're going to digitally set 3. Remember, wind this way to wind the alarm, wind this way to wind the watch. The rotor on the case back can wind the clock time functions, but it cannot wind the alarm. That's manual only. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to arm the alarm. See if I can synchronize these things. Strike governor, striker, gongs. Disarm. It'll sound for 35 seconds. Now keep in mind that if this little aperture were dark, I would be looking at 3 a.m. So if you've got your watch indicating 3 and you've got your alarm indicating 3 and you're wondering why the fully wound, armed, ostensibly correctly set alarm is not sounding, it might be that this little aperture is the wrong color for your time of day, and you might be 12 hours removed from the actual time. Your alarm might be 12 hours off, so that's important to keep in mind. Now, this watch is described today as 30 meters water resistant and a true 30 meters by Patek. They're saying you can surface swim it. I would say consult them before doing so, but it is crystal clear on their website that they think this watch is now submersible. You could see the tiny amount of white gold, because this is the 5520RG, and the G describes the white gold of the barrels of these crowns. So you can see you've got your travel time plus, travel time minus, and then your two crowns on the other side, master crown and your alarm arm, and they have rose gold caps, but then their barrels are white gold. And that's all the white gold on the watch. A little bit weird, right? But that is the case. Turning it all over, we have a big movement. This is properly sized and remarkably complex Patek Philippe, caliber AL 3660. It is a 31 millimeter diameter automatic winding movement with unidirectional winding action on ceramic bearings for efficiency, 52-hour power reserve, 4 Hz beat rate, free-sprung gyromax style architecture for shock resistance and precise adjustment, latest generation Patek Philippe Spiromax anti-magnetic silicone hairspring, which can also breathe concentrically like an overcoil. It has well over 500 pieces, really closer to 600, so it is a grandly complicated watch, even if in the traditional sense it is not a grand complication. As you can see, it is a 52 jewel movement, and it is adjusted in 6 positions with the Patek Philippe seal and the other refinements. This movement was rated from the factory no worse than -1 + 2 seconds per 24 hours. It has a lot of features, and I hope I've elucidated some of the selling points of this misunderstood watch. Yes, it looks like a 5524. True, an alarm and a dual time might not seem like $300,000 complications, but holistically, the style, the capability, the rarity, the practicality, the wear it all the time glee of a watch that can do anything and make friends who otherwise would not have understood your watch thing. The alarm will melt hearts, even the hardest of hearts who could never understand your watch hobby. This watch will introduce them to the magic of the collector's fraternity or sorority, depending on who you are, in a way that academic explanation of a gyro tourbillon never could. So if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.